Hello, my love. So this one is for the people who just don't know who they are. Am I a fitness coach? Am I supposed to be this kind of teacher? Am I a light worker? What is my purpose? What am I here for? Here's something I want to let you know, okay? All of us can't find our label because the truth of what we're doing is not specific, dependent on that label, on that archetype, right? Everything in this world is just labels, right? And that's not going to determine anything. If I decide today that I'm going to be a shadow work coach and I'm going to help people with their shadow work, what did that give me? What do I do? What is my purpose? Here's something I want you to understand about all of us. The reason so often that we can't find our label is because it's just a label. It is not our purpose, right? So what every single coach is, every single one, doesn't matter the topic, doesn't matter your label, doesn't matter how it goes, every single one of us is a being, a person who facilitates containers for change to take place. Every single thing, whether you're teaching somebody something new or you're coaching somebody in fitness and shadow work and in magic, in anything, the one consistent truth is that we are all creating containers for change. We are the facilitators for the container for change to take place. That is what we do. No more, no less. We are facilitators of containers of change. So here's the thing. Our purpose is who we are, right? So very often, I think coaches and mentors and guides and teachers, we have a hard time trying to make money with this business. And this is because we are simply facilitating change, right? We aren't doing it for them. We are facilitating a container for them to do it themselves. And the only reason they need us is because they can't figure out how to do it themselves. And so we think that this gift that we have isn't worthy of financial security. We think that this gift that we have just isn't worthy of receiving clients, of getting money. And so we struggle so much with the label when we know we're here for this, which is why we're trying so hard. The reason that people need us and need our talent and need us to just be ourselves is because very often we can facilitate the type of change that they cannot facilitate in themselves. So when a person can't facilitate this change in their fitness routine or they can't facilitate change in their spiritual life on their own, it's because they need a connection with an external presence. It's all presence, okay? That is our purpose. Our purpose is our presence, okay? So when we can't facilitate a change in our own lives, then we need to connect with somebody who can better facilitate a more effective container for this change to happen, right? This is alchemy. When we are not as skilled alchemists in a specific area or sector of our life, we're going to seek out somebody who can better facilitate that transformation in our life, who has a better understanding of the building blocks to create that container, right? And this is through means of them just naturally having that as an aspect of who they are, as an aspect of their wisdom, of their presence, and of their experience, right? So the reason a lot of us can't find our label or can't find our purpose is because we haven't fully understood what we are here to facilitate for other people. Okay? So, what does this mean? How do we find this purpose? How do we find what we are here to facilitate? What transformation container are we here to facilitate? Okay, so let's think about it. What are some things that people compliment you on? What are you good at naturally? What are your inherent gifts? What do you find yourself doing regularly? How do you show up in conversation? I would say just start making notes of this. What is your skill set, right? What is your inherent skill set? The things that maybe you don't think about all the time. I think a lot of us, when we have a calling, we aren't looking at our skill set. We aren't looking at what we're good at. We're looking at what we're passionate about. So what you're passionate about is definitely a key factor in your purpose, but your purpose is your presence. You are already facilitating containers of change. You are already facilitating change for other people. People may have told you what this is already, and you have avoided it because you didn't think of it yourself and it didn't resonate at the time. I promise you, if you start paying attention to what you're good at, your skill set, the jobs you've had that you've loved, the types of things that you've done, the communication that you have with other people, how are you in communication with other people? Are you good at sharing aspects of yourself that help people think about things in a new light? Are you good at listening and maybe they get through it themselves by you just being there? These things will show up, and this will show you your purpose. Again, your purpose is your presence, and you're already doing it. There's nothing you can do to not do it unless you are not connecting with anybody at all, right? Unless you are stuck up in your room and doing nothing at all, then you are already facilitating this change. And even if you're alone, you're facilitating this change, but it's really hard to see a change take place when you are not participating in this container, right? You are already facilitating it. You are already facilitating this change. So what you're looking for is just a label, right? And that is not the thing that's going to solve this conundrum that we have, right? What you really truly need is to figure out what you really are doing for people, because they will tell you, they will communicate that with you. And if you're not doing it for people, maybe you aren't a coach, maybe you aren't a teacher, and you stumbled onto this video, then maybe I have a little nugget for you. And maybe that's the fact that you're already facilitating your purpose. You're facilitating a container for maybe not change for other people, but you're facilitating a container by just whatever is happening energetically in your space when you are present. When you are not trying too hard, you're not anxious, you're not overly hopped up on caffeine, you're not high. You know what I'm talking about? We don't consume substances. When we are fully present and embodied in ourselves in the present moment, what are we facilitating? And this could be confusing at first. Honestly, it's something that takes time and it takes processing and it takes awareness. And the self-awareness is super key. And I promise you, you're already doing it, okay? I promise you, what you are facilitating in your life on a regular basis is your purpose. And we grow and we mature and we develop in that purpose. And that's what this channel is, a culmination for me. It is a culmination of all of the lessons I've learned, all the wisdom I've gained, because of all the experiences I've had. And also, I was born to do this. And I didn't know that at the time. A long time ago, I had the call to preach, and that resonated so deeply. I knew I was meant to communicate. Communication is something that I was born to facilitate. And I've been facilitating that level of communication since I could speak. I used to write, speak. I liked performing when I was a little kid. It is something that came naturally to me. I was facilitating that. The change I was facilitating was that I was making people laugh. The change I was facilitating was that I made people think when I was younger, that I said something in a way that other people hadn't thought of. And that is change that I facilitated my whole life, right? So I've grown and I've matured, and I finally realized that I'm here to be a mouthpiece for the things that maybe other people aren't sharing, maybe not the way that I can. And so it's your right to witness the communication and expression through me. It's not because I'm so great. In fact, it's because I'm surrendering to the fact that this stuff has to come out. This stuff is not for me. I'm not doing anything with it. I can't do anything with it because I've already transformed my life, and I'm going to keep doing so. And of course, I want to help with this as much as I can for other people, because I've been through the ringer. I've been through some really rough times, and if I can alleviate that for you, if I can help you with that, then I absolutely want to do that. I want to say it again. The reason you're struggling to come up with a label or understanding what your purpose is because you're already it. You are your purpose. Your purpose is to be somebody who facilitates a container for a specific type or brand of transformation to take place. And whether this is actual active transformation, like you're a fitness coach and you're trying to help somebody build muscle or lose weight, if you are a spiritual coach and you're trying to help somebody develop their spiritual practice, whatever transformation is taking place, it doesn't have to look like an absolute catalytic transformation for it to be the container that you are meant to facilitate, okay? It could be a gentle container. It could be a container where you just listen with deep presence and that container transforms people in their own self, right? Really, it is just who you are. Maybe you facilitate change by being really good at organization, and maybe your purpose is to be able to organize things. Maybe there's a way you can organize things for somebody else and not just for yourself anymore, right? It's your right. It's your right to understand. It's your right to your purpose because you are it, you're living it, and I'm so proud of you. I hope you received something from this. Much love.